Hello, welcome back. So now in this part we will discuss about the types of foundation. Well, we know that foundation can be broadly classified into two categories. One is the shallow foundation and the second one is the deep foundation. Well, this shallow foundation and deep foundation can be classified based on the DF by B ratio. Well, in this DF is the depth of foundation, B is the width of foundation. So for example, if this is column and if this is the foundation and this is the ground level, so this will be known as the DF value, and this is the width of foundation which we represent as B. So this DF by B ratio, the classification is based on this DF by B ratio. So if this DF by B ratio is up to 1, then we classify the foundation as shallow foundation. And if this ratio is between 5 to 20, then generally we define or we classify our foundation as the deep foundation. So first, we will discuss about the shallow foundation. Shallow foundations are basically of four types. One is strip foundation, isolated footing, and combined footing, and rough footing or mat foundation. So these are the basic four category of the shallow foundation, and they are very common in the buildings. So, and even in these four types, first three types of foundation are very common in the buildings. So we will discuss each foundation one by one. So talking about the strip foundation is the foundation which is constructed for a wall. So in this figure, if you see, first foundation is known as the strip foundation, which is basically constructed for a wall. This wall can be of brick masonry, it can be of RCC, and but here the foundation will be of RCC. So here you can see this portion is basically the wall, and for supporting this wall there is a foundation. And if load on the wall is coming like this, then against this load, as it will be resting on the soil will offer upward pressure. So now here you can see, because of this upward pressure, this part of the foundation, similarly this part of the foundation will act as a cantilever. Even in the other foundation also you can see, because of the application of this external load, there will be upward pressure offered by the soil. So because of this, this part and this part, they will act as a cantilever. So this first foundation is of spread foundation, the strip foundation or the continuous wall foundation. Similarly, we have isolated footing. So these three are the category of isolated footing. So this is the simplest form where we have a column resting on this foundation. Similarly, sometimes we use stepped footing, which is called the pedestal also. So this kind of foundation we generally use when there is a heavy load and we want to transfer this load in steps. So that is also a kind of foundation that we use in the construction. Similarly, to save the material, sometimes what we do is we design the sloped footing also. Okay, so these three are the category of isolated foundation. Then the third foundation is combined footing. Now, as the name suggests, combined footing are basically the footing in which two or more columns are composed on the same footing. So if the column are of same size, then the combined footing can be of rectangular shape. If the column size is different, then depending on the size, we can have trapezoidal or the other shape also. Well, when do we use this combined footing? Well, combined footing is used when one column is near the property line. Well, what is the meaning of this? For example, if we have two plots, one plot is this one and the second plot is this one. For example, this plot is already constructed, and this is the plot where we have to construct the building. So as per the building plan, say for example, we have column one here, one column here, and one column here. Similarly, in between also we have some columns. Now, for this column, which is near to the boundary of the building, if we try to make the isolated footing of this column, then you can see the plan of the footing is overlapping in this property which is already constructed. So in that case, what we can do is we can combine footing of this column with this one. So in that case, this becomes the footing. So in that case, this becomes the combined footing. So in such cases, we use this combined footing so that the overlap of the footing can be avoided. I mean, as this footing is coming crossing this building line, which is not possible in any case. So in that case, what we have done is we have combined the footing of this column with this column. Sometimes the distance between two columns, sometimes distance between these two columns may be large. So in that case, what we can do is we can provide a beam also. So like you can see in this case, this column and this column, if the distance between them is large, and if we want to connect them, then we can connect them with the help of a beam which is called the strap beam. So in that case, the foundation is called strap foundation. And this strap beam is used only to connect these two columns. It has nothing to do, I mean, it will not transfer load to the soil directly. It will connect these two columns and ultimately transfer the load with the help of these foundation. So that is the uh, combined footing. Now coming to the next type of footing, which is again comes under the category of shallow foundation, and that is mat foundation. Mat foundation is a very important foundation, and as the name suggests, mat or raft foundation, it transfers the load from all columns in a building to the soil beneath. So basically, uh, uh, this is again a type of combined footing in which all the columns rest on the same foundation mat. So you can see here all the columns are resting on the same foundation bed, and therefore the foundation is known as raft foundation. This raft foundation is used in the soil when there is a low bearing capacity. Then we can use this raft foundation. Also, if the column footing are overlapping. For example, this is the column and the plan of the footing is this one. Similarly, its plan is something like this. Similarly, this column footing plan is like this. So here you can see they are simply about to merge. So in that case, what we do is we provide the combined footing for all this column. We don't make the individual footing, but we make the combined footing for all the columns, and therefore it is called the raft foundation. Well, this raft foundation is also used to reduce the differential settlement. So I have discussed differential settlement, that this differential settlement occur when we have two types of soil having different settlement characteristics, and if we construct building on two different types of soil, so in that case, if one soil is showing more settlement, then the building tilts towards that. So that kind of settlement is called differential settlement. So to avoid this differential settlement, sometimes we use mat foundation, because mat foundation will be showing uniform settlement. So that differential settlement problem can be uh, adjusted by using the mat foundation. So these are the shallow foundation. Now talking about the deep foundation. Well, in the deep foundation, basically we use two types of element. One is the piles and the second one is the caissons. So we will discuss one by one, but these two elements are the common elements which we generally use in the deep foundation to transmit the load from the column through the upper layer of poor soil to the strong soil layer at some depth below the surface. So this deep foundation is generally used in case of if there is heavy load, or if the upper layer of the soil is weak, And if we want to transmit the load of our building to the hard strata of the soil, so in that case we use the deep foundation. Well, this deep foundation is also used when it is necessary to provide resistance to uplift or when there is a possibility of erosion due to flowing water. So in case of bridge construction, if we construct a bridge on a river, so in that case, for example, if this is a bridge and if we construct this bridge on the river, so obviously we provide these vertical column type of structure, which is called the piers. So these piers have deep foundation because as the water is running, so because of this water, the erosion may occur. So therefore, to avoid that erosion, what we do is we provide the deep foundation with the help of this pile. So if this is the hard strata of the soil, so we rest this pile on the hard strata of the soil. So in that case, you can see this depth becomes very large. The depth of foundation becomes very large. So therefore, the foundation is so-called the deep foundation. So as I said, piles are the common elements which are generally used in the deep foundation. And here you can see this is the column which is subjected to some external load, and this column will transfer the load to this cap which is called the pile cap, and this pile cap is attached with some piles, and these piles are further extended, and as you can see in between this there is weak soil, so these piles are resting on the hard soil. So as you can see, these are resting on the bearing stratum, which is basically the strong or hard soil. So the load is transferred with the help of piles. So these piles are basically the element of deep foundation. So that is the piles. Now talking about the next type of element, which is called the caissons. Caissons are also known as well foundation, and the diameter of these well foundation is around 0.6 to 1.5 meter, and they are generally used in place of piles in case of bridge foundation. So well foundation, in this we use wells, and wells can be of three types. One is open well, box well, or pneumatic well. So I will show you these wells one by one. This is the open well. So in this bottom and the top is open in this case, and these are the layer. Uh, these are the well constructed of RCC, and in these well, generally these are filled with the sand. Now, these well are very important to resist the lateral pressure or the horizontal pressure. So when we fill them with the sand, then sand helps in transferring the load uniformly to the surface of the well. Similarly, we can have box well. In the box well, well from the bottom it is closed and it is open from the top. So these the mechanism of the well foundation is same in this case also. These are filled with the sand to transfer the load uniformly on the wall of the well, and again they are suitable for supporting lateral pressure effectively. Similarly, we have the third type of well, which is called the pneumatic well. Now, in this case, as we construct this well foundation in the water, so when we are constructing these well foundation, there are chances that water may enter in the well. So in that case, sometimes what we do is we provide some air shafts, and through the air shafts we provide compressed air. Now these compressed air which are providing here, they prevents water from entering these spaces. So in that case, this condition becomes dry condition, and working in the dry condition becomes more effective and more suitable for constructing this well foundation. So that is the brief description of the type of foundation. So we will continue our discussion in the next lecture. Thank you.